Manchester United reportedly about to submit a £55 million bid for Mason Mount, a big target of Liverpool and Arsenal, and Chelsea still working tirelessly to tie him down to a new contract. We're going to delve into this as Man United fans go into meltdown online over this link. There are also stories today coming from the Telegraph that Man United will enter the race to sign Leicester City star James Maddison this summer, a signing which I think will make United fans a little bit happier. And we are going to take a look on this show at Ruben Neves to Arsenal. An offer has been made by the Gooners, according to some Spanish outlets today. We're going to delve into that and much, much more. Hit the like and share button, subscribe now. Enter the raffle to win 2 tickets to the FA Cup final, plus £250 spending money. But United fans, rivals as well, Mason Mount, why does everybody want him when nobody really rates him? Unless you're proper Chelsea, there's not very many people that rate Mason Mount highly. And recently, I've kind of made some cases where I think it could be good for Liverpool, where I think it could be good for Arsenal. The managers must recognize something in him which is really good. And I've been reflecting this morning and thinking, do I mean that or am I being kind? And then he's linked to my club. And sometimes, as a man, you have to look at a situation and go, do you know what? I might have been wrong about that. Sometimes when we've all been there in life where you look at somebody else in a bad situation or having a good time or whatever it may be, and you think, oh, I'd love that. Or I'd hate to be in that position. You know, I don't think I could handle that. Or that would be my dream scenario. And then you're in that situation and your mind changes. You get an epiphany. And that is how I feel this morning linked to Mason Mount. Don't want him at all. I didn't think I'd feel like that. I thought I'd go, you know what? Decent signing, good player. No, I don't. I feel like I want to run away. Like I'm being chased by Michael Myers from Halloween. So I take back what I've said about him when it comes to other clubs. I was wrong. I'm big enough, strong enough, and ugly enough to admit that. But the story today is that Man United will launch a £55 million bid for Mason Mount as Ten Hag tries to steal a march on Arsenal and Liverpool. And as I said at the top of the video, everybody wants him, including Chelsea want to keep him, but no one really rates him. So maybe look, maybe we're all wrong as fans. Maybe we obviously don't have as good as an eye as Ten Hag and Klopp and Arteta and Poch, who wants to keep him. Are those 4 managers right, and we're all wrong? I need to know now. I need to know. The thought of him coming to Man United feels like wasted money and a wasted transfer for me now. And maybe I'm seeing it through a different lens because it's my club. In other news today, the Telegraph has linked us to a move with James Maddison. Now that is what I call a good signing. Now, there are some injury concerns around him, and a few people point that out. But if we need somebody to come into the club to be, I'm not going to say a backup to Bruno Fernandes, because I know that would trigger certain people. Let me phrase it in a way which I think everybody can get on board with. Somebody to challenge Bruno Fernandes. Somebody to maybe take his place in the team. James Maddison's the guy, not Mason Mount. James Maddison's that individual, not Mason Mount. He's the man. He's the guy. He's the person. Mount, there's just something a little bit meh about him. He's beige. That's what I think it comes down to. I don't think it'd be the worst signing for Man United, but there is almost no excitement. It is a beige wall. Mahogany, bruv. Mahogany. Standard. Normal. That's it. Nothing spectacular. Ford Fiesta. Finesse. Sounds good, but it ain't. Decent. Get you from A to B. No real kick, though. Do you know what I'm saying? What we need is something with a bit of meat under the hood. So yeah, I'm not happy with this link. I'm worried about this link, but I want to get your take. Your opinions always matter more on the Terrace. What do you think and feel? Will Man United go for him? Or, and I will say this now, Winter Surfer called this out on Twitter today. I don't like to plagiarize. I know a lot of YouTubers do. I don't. In terms of other people's thought processes, is this PR from Mason Mount's camp to get a bigger offer from Chelsea or to speed things up with Arsenal or Liverpool? Are Man United really in this race, or is just a bit of cannon fodder? And on the situation with James Maddison, Man United have now entered the race. Leicester are very likely to sell him whether they stay up or go down. Spurs and Newcastle are in for him as well. But Man United are now entering that race. They want to advance the situation according to reports today. Remember, Leicester, £92 million losses. They will lose even more money if they get relegated because they have very few relegation clauses in contracts to reduce salary. The income goes down, even though there are parachute payments, but they're not as much as being in the Premier League. Big problems there. Man United, Newcastle, Spurs looking at him. Let me know what you think and feel. An interesting report today claims that Ruben Neves agrees a 4-year contract with Barcelona as he rejects Arsenal and Manchester United transfer, but Wolves won't get a penny. That is a story that's been pushed around today. There's another headline that's come out of Spain that states, I want to read it. Ruben Neves has turned down a deal from Arsenal as he is waiting for Barca to make a formal bid for him. So this story here from the British press very much talks about the situation when it comes to the personal terms, but nothing formal has come through as of yet, according to the media. But there are a number of outlets reporting that he is saying no to Arsenal. He will say no to a Man United approach if it's officially made because he wants to move. Now remember, he's got 1 year remaining. He's got 1 year remaining on his contract. There is some hope that Barca come in and make a formal offer, a little bit of money, get him out of his contract early and move him on. There is a train of thought that Barca will make him a deal that they will not make official until next year. Like they're going to sign him on a free transfer in 12 months' time. Depends on what report you read, but a little bit like certain other stories that formulate across the world. It feels like they're all coming from a similar source. There's different adaptations or feelings around this. But it does appear that Ruben Neves is going to turn down Arsenal and is going to turn down Man United because he wants to go to Barcelona. Now, he's a very, very good player. And I think the likes of Man United, I think the likes of Arsenal should have gone and tried to sign this guy 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. He's now moving, 26 years of age, he'll be 27 next year. He needs that big money move now. It's get it now or it's never going to happen. Signs a new deal at Wolves or moves to another mid club. He's never going to get that big opportunity. And I think at 26, now's the time. Now, Barcelona appears to be his dream destination. You get that from a lot of Spanish, of course, and Portuguese players, a lot of South American players. The Spanish giants are often the mecca of football for them. And I completely and utterly understand that train of thought. But Barcelona, the only thing I'm confused about is this. They're in for Kimmich. Maybe they don't get him. Say they do. Say they land Kimmich. They got Gavi. They got Pedri. They've told Frankie de Jong that he's the future after Busquets. Kesse's at the club. Who moves on? It could be Kesse. For me, I'm looking at Frankie de Jong again. There's not a lot of talk about it. But why do they keep signing players that also play in his position? Now, I don't think they believe that Ruben Neves is better than Frankie de Jong because he's not. They have massive financial issues. And they're going to play this down. They're not going to leak much to the press. But I do think there's a chance of a big club in England signing Frankie de Jong this summer. Genuinely, I do. Because they keep getting linked to midfielders that would play in his position. And if they were totally sold on him being the long-term replacement for Busquets, and if they were financially able to keep him, why would you be linked to these players? Ruben Neves isn't joining Barcelona to sit on their bench, in my view, because he gets into the Arsenal team. He gets into the Man United team. And I know Barcelona, you could argue, are more prestigious. Some people will say that. But I think there's more at play here. I don't think he goes to Barca to sit on their bench when he can start for Arsenal, start for Man United. I think he's being told by Barca, we see you as a first-team player. But how can he be with so many midfielders that they already have or they're linked to? Something's got to give. I personally think it's Frankie de Jong. Now, whether that means Man United get him, I know that you're all going to go, you think you're getting Frankie de Jong? Maybe, maybe not. Champions League football, progression is there. Massive #1 target of our manager for the past year. Never wanted to see him leave Ajax in the first place. I still think Man United will go in for this guy, especially if the new owners come in from Qatar. They will want to make a splash. They will want to make a statement. But you do that by buying the #1 targets of your manager, not just by signing marquee players that either don't have the profile to fit the system your manager's building, or have other problems, fitness issues, huge salaries at the end of their career, past their best, whatever it may be. But this one is an interesting one for me. Not only him saying no to Arsenal and saying no to Manchester United, but also the situation at Barca and the players that might become available. Again, like Leicester, we spoke about earlier, Barca with big financial issues. As ever, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. I want to understand what you feel about these transfer stories this morning. Leave your comments below, subscribe to the Football Terrace, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.